Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. This is your Week 4 preview with myself, Marcus Dash, and of course, legendary Chiefs tight end Justyn Dunn. JD. So obviously, the Chiefs' offense starting to click a little bit, but the one person that's kind of surprising people so far, maybe not be surprising some people, but as far as the NFL fans broadly, just know this guy from the guy who dropped that wide open pass during preseason, but. This guy's coming out. Rashee Rice, rookie receiver. There's mixed reviews on him going into the season from Chiefs fans. Some didn't like him when we drafted him. I guess it's a different kind of body that we're used to. Different body type. We like the small guys. But so far, according to PFF, he's the 10th overall wide receiver, which is nuts. And then already, in talking about how rookie receivers don't really thrive in Andy Reid's offense, he's already surpassing the averages that rookie receivers have in Andy Reid's offenses since he's been in Kansas City. So, he's clicking. My question is, what do you think, JD? Is he one of the best receivers we have in this team? Some are saying he is the best receiver. What do you make about the play you've seen so far from Rashee Rice through the first 3 weeks of the season?
Some are saying he's our best receiver. I think he's a developing receiver that we have. I wouldn't necessarily he's our best receiver. Just the numbers in itself don't necessarily bear it out. Now, PFF said that he's 10th
overall.
10th overall. So that means he's been very efficient. He's been catching passes. And here's the thing, though. He's just going to get better. He's going to get better. I think he's a very talented receiver. I think he is one of our top ones. I'll say that. And so when we evaluate the whole wide receiver core, we got a lot of talented guys. I don't want to say somebody's our best receiver, right? Because it's very early. We have just a small sample of what he's been able to do. But everything he's been able to do has been very satisfying. Let me put it that way. So, with the first drive, he had one kind of drop where he didn't actually come through the window. That's some of those things he's going to get back on page with Patrick. So my thing is, Rashee Rice, I have a lot of faith in him and a lot of trust. Patrick's going to get more trust in him because of the things he does bring to the table, because of his big body, because he is getting yards after the catch, which is another good thing that, we'd like to see from receivers. And so he's just going to grow. He is just going to absolutely grow. I think that was a great pick through the Chiefs and with Veach, kind of getting this guy, sniffing him out. Because he's going to keep doing big things for us. And so I would say down the road, we'll start seeing and go ahead and tag him as our number one wide receiver. But it's early.
It is very early. And I guess some of when people online are talking about, he might be the best receiver we have. What have you noticed from him? Because I'm looking at statistics from Sky Moore's rookie season and Rashee Rice. If you look at Rashee Rice's numbers right now, he's almost surpassing what Sky Moore did all year last year. Obviously the obvious, the difference between the two, they're two different type of receivers. Mm-hmm. What are you noticing so far as Rashee Rice's role in the offense this year versus what Sky Moore's role was to our offense last year?
The reality is, we had a seasoned veteran receiver in Juju Smith-Schuster. And Sky Moore had to vault that as far as getting a little bit more of reps, not to mention McCole Hardman. So there was guys in front of him, Sky Moore, that he had to deal with. Rashee Rice is kind of coming into a position where Kadarius Toney has been hurt, MVS has been kind of non-existent. Other guy we're going to is Justyn Watson, which he's been doing a tremendous job for him. Hats off to him for the type of job he's been doing. And then I don't think it's kind of in the cards, right? He's had opportunities now because of injuries, because of things that's happened. I think he's in a better position where Sky Moore was in last year. And so I think Sky, because of maybe that development where the guys were in front of him, it's all about timing. It's all opportunity. And sometimes you just got to take advantage of it. Rashee Rice has been taking advantage of his opportunities that he's been given. And that's exactly what you want to see of a player. So I think, with him having the success early, it's a great thing for him. Not just great for him, but the great wide receiver core, because also too what it does is it puts everybody on notice. It challenges all the wide receivers that's in the room to step that game up. We see a rookie coming in, all of a sudden he's starting to eat. Oh man, we got to get a little bit of that pie too. So I think it's the difference really, man, because you when we're talking about people that was in front of who last year and now this year, I think it all depends on opportunity.
Yeah, and I'll say too, like for the fact that the story was that Mahomes had Rice come down to Texas and do the Texas drills with all the other receivers. He had Quentin Johnson do it. Zay Flowers also do it, and then Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice was the one that he told Leach to go get. There's obviously some kind of maybe chemistry rapport there that Mahomes just feels comfortable throwing to the guy. And that goes to my next question. Do you think, by the amount of targets he's already getting in the first weeks of the season, do you feel like the Mahomes has trust in him? And that's also with all the drops that he's had, because that's one big thing with him is the drops he had there in preseason, already some during the season already. But do you feel that Mahomes has trust in him based on the targets he's getting?
Yeah, I think he has trust in him, of course. I mean, especially if you're already telling the GM to go get a guy that you love him. You know, you like what he does. You like what you see out of him. So, you know, Mahomes seen something like that early, you know, and you know, being able to do that, to throw to a guy before you actually draft him and practice with him, man, it put him in a better position. And so, you know, when you have a guy like Patrick Mahomes signing off on you, talking about how good he is, man, you can only go up from here. But I really do believe that Patrick has a lot of trust in him. But also, too, Patrick is still telling him things that he still has to learn, okay? Rashee Rice is still learning. Let's make no mistake about that. We can say he's a number one. We can say all these different things, but Rashee Rice is still learning the game of football, okay? And there's a lot of game to be played. So I'm going to say this. This week is going to be a good matchup. It's a good matchup for our wide receiver core, and a good matchup for him, too, because he's going to get some real boys this week. Let's be honest here, okay? And he's going to be seeing some things probably down the road as well. So has he gotten all the things he needed to do as far as challenging on the NFL side? Man, there's still a lot of ball to be played. There's a lot of good players out there. So he's going to see guys starting to come up on him now. This week is going to be one for sure that is going to be a good challenge for him as well.
And I'm curious to see who Sauce Gardner matches up against, because like with our offense, because we're having the conversation right now, who is our wide receiver one? Is it Rashee Rice? Is it Justyn Watson? Is it Kadarius Toney when he plays? Is it Sky Moore? I mean, that's going to be interesting to see how Sauce Gardner, who he matches up against.
You know what? I think, to be honest with you, the defensive scheme is going to be our wide receiver one is Travis Kelce. And so if you look for guys to D him up. All the other guys, you're probably looking at like, okay, these guys kind of filter in. Patrick throws the ball to everybody. But with our offensive scheme, I don't really think there is a number one. You know, we're not the traditional offense that you look at. A guy's like, well, this guy right here is the number one, and they're going to be throwing to him the ball a lot. No, he distributes the ball to everybody. And that's a good thing, because you can't just key on one guy. Because as soon as you key on one guy, some other guys are open. Our number one is Travis Kelce, and they're going to be keying on Travis Kelce. That's going to open up the lanes and these windows for these wide receivers to get open. And so that's what I'm looking at. If anybody's going into the game, they're thinking wide receiver one, they got to start with Travis Kelce at being a tight end.
Who do you think Sauce primarily guards then? You think he'll sometimes be on Kelce, or no? No way.
No. Now, they might have some matchup, especially if he lines up wide, I'm sure. Maybe at the inside. It just depends. It depends. But I tell you what, if you don't get our 87, he's going to eat your lunch, okay? He's going to eat your lunch.
Yeah. We got a comment here from that guy's the guy, probably our best yak wide receiver, referring to Rashee Rice. Tony's awesome with the ball in his hands, but for every juke, he misses 2 games.
That's funny.
And we talked about it on our show this past week, you know, that he was so close to scoring 2 touchdowns this past week. And I mean, I'd be kicking myself that close to scoring 2 touchdowns. And I think I saw someone online had placed a bet for Rashee Rice to score 2 touchdowns. Oh man, you'd be very upset about that. But like, so close.
He definitely should have got in. I just don't understand the first why they didn't give him that. I really believe he got in on that one, seriously, but that's my opinion.
I found the second one. I thought they should have done a little quick screen, just get him in the end zone or a little quick slant. The guy deserved it in a game like that. But like so with PFF having him as a 10th overall wide receiver, which I think is crazy because he's already had a few drops, and usually with PFF's rankings, that'll drop you down big time, which I think is amazing. But I think it's funny because this offseason, when in the Chiefs world, Rashee Rice wasn't a guy really talked about much. Justyn Ross was more talked about than Rashee Rice was talked about. And just kind of going to touch on Justyn Ross so far, what have you seen from Justyn Ross? Do you think as the season continues, we're going to see more of him? I mean, first play out the gate last week was a hitch route to Justyn Ross. It was a drop, but I mean, he got targeted right at the gate. And I thought, maybe we're going to see some more of this. And I think he logged more reps than he usually does this past game. But like,
sure,
what have you seen from Justyn Ross, and what do you think we're only going to see more of him?
Yeah, I think it's important to emphasize getting these young guys going. I mean, it's the future of the franchise, and so it's good to find out what you have right now. Go ahead and test them right now, because they're just going to get better and better for you. So they'll be ready and available toward the end of the season when we get into the playoff run and get into the Super Bowl run. And we've seen this last year, right? We've seen this last year with the secondary. And people was, why are we putting the young guys in? Why are we testing them one-on-one? Well, there was a reason. There's a reason to the madness, apparently, what people thought. But I'm like, look, this is important time. Why not do it the first games of the season against the toughest competition that we was facing to put these guys to a test? So it's the same thing. Justyn Ross is a guy that I think we need to go ahead and test early. We need to get him some more reps. But I do see him having a fit in our offense. I do. Like I said, him and Rashee Rice, because of their development in the last few weeks, preseason and wise or not, it's just going to help us out in the long run. So does that mean that we'll see more MVS disappearing? Because here's the thing, man. When you start having more reps, you're taking some from somebody else. So who is that going to be? That's the question. And it's the same thing. Is that Richie James coming back and him finding that role? What is it going to be? So that's everybody's vying for that position. The thing is, availability is the best ability, right? We say that. So Justyn Ross, them guys, they just developing. They're getting better. I know we having this conversation because it's early. It's only 3 games. This is going to be the 4th of the season. And shoot, we're playing 17. But I always give guys space to grow. Okay. And one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to pile on pressure for these guys to be like, oh my gosh, save the world. You're the number 1 for the Chiefs and all this. And let these guys develop. Give them that. I understand what that means. And you talking about young receivers, young guys in the league. There is this maturation period, this development, just to still figure things out, because there's a lot more to figure out in the NFL, especially with these defenses they give it. So Justyn Ross, he'll get there. Rashee Rice will get there too. The thing is, how much are we going to give them going forward? Yeah.
I mean, you got to figure that the first play of the game, he's out there on offense, Justyn Ross, and he's targeted right away. I know they didn't go to him after that, but he was still getting reps in the game and stuff. But it's his rookie season.
Yeah, but see, when you say we don't go back to him, that's because we don't have a number 1. The way our offense is geared, it's like, you get open. You run to get open. Patrick's going to throw to the guy who's open. That's how it works. And so the only one I think that they will run plays for specifically was going to be Travis Kelce. Everybody else is, hey, we're going to run the play. Patrick's going to go through his progression. If you're open, he's going to throw it to you. He's got a window, he's going to throw it to you. And then when he extends plays with his legs, now it's any man's game at that point, right? Shoot, he might throw one behind his back to the running back, throw one off of the back of a lineman to get to somebody else. So that's the thing about it. I don't, as far as like when we go through progression and plays and whatnot, it's Patrick's going to throw to the guy that he feels is open, period. And if you're getting open, you're going to get more reps. We're going to see it. The eye in the sky does not lie. You getting open, they're going to find you. He's going to find you.
Yeah, I see the comments here. I feel like they have plays designed for Tony as well. Yeah, I mean he's another guy that kind of just a quick little bubble route too or something.
That's pretty much it. They try to get him going up, but that's like those little screens that can be thrown to anybody. So whoever they throw some to Sky Moore, they throw jet sweep to those guys. I think that's what they do because we have the personnel to do it. If a guy's fast enough to get up the field, then we're going to throw that. So those play designs and getting those guys, it's just because we have enough guys that can do that. Hey, shoot, get a guy going. But when I'm talking about play design, like deep routes in the field and whatnot, it's whoever's going to get open for this, and it's progression. It's obviously you got your number one receiver. That's why you have progressions in it. But we're not just saying, hey man, get Rashee Rice on this play. Shoot, hey, you win this. Hey, this is the personnel. You get in. What coverage they give you, you take what the defense gives you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Kelce's developed a good rapport with Mahomes in order to. I don't know if you saw that clip where Mahomes said he's going to do whatever he wants to do. So,
oh yeah,
once you get to that level, you can do whatever you want to do, and Pat will find you.
And guess who Pat's looking for? His number one, Travis Kelce.
When you play with TG, did TG ever do that with Trent? I mean, because they developed a pretty solid rapport. Did TG kind of go rogue and do his own thing as far as like if he saw something in the defense, or he would just go strictly by the Al Saunders playbook?
No, look, we had a scheme that we stayed in. Our things is based off timing. That a lot of like the West Coast offense, and it was like obviously what Al Saunders did. Trent knew we knew to a T where you were supposed to be on every single play, and that was the thing about it. Al Saunders. His mantra was be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. And when I'm looking at these guys, and that's why I say, man, it looks like scramble drill on some of these. That's why like some of the routes that I see is kind of backing in because it's not as pronounced, snapping the ball around. And so sometimes because of that, it may seem like, things are a little off, and I see it, I recognize it, and other guys recognize it, because I have conversations with them. But it's good. We love it. We love the freedom. Believe me, we love to watch the freedom that guys have. Like, man, I wish I had a chance to do that. Oh, shoot, you run around and just kind of, find the holes and windows, which you can kind of do. But I'm not saying like in the grand scheme of things, how we did our offense. It was more based off timing. Everybody had a spot to be in. Everybody had a job to do. You had to be there. So that's why it made Trent so good, man. He was a great quarterback.
Yeah, he knew the system well.
Yeah.
I guess the Al Saunders offense was more black and white, whereas this is more living in the gray area a little bit, this offense.
yeah. But I mean they have set routes. They have concepts, put it that way. The guys are doing. Travis has mastered it, right? Like he knows, and Patrick knows he's mastered it. He's ran the routes 10,000 times, and he knows like he's going to run it 10 different ways each time, and I know that. So
yeah. 2013 to now. I mean, he's been in the offense for a long time, so yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that does it for us for our Week 4 preview on Bleacher Report. If you guys are interested, come to our channel on YouTube, Chief Concerns. You guys can find us talking all things Chiefs all week long, and with our weekly episode coming out later, early tomorrow morning. But we'll be filming that tonight, so get in on that, Chief Concerns. You can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere you get podcasts.
That's right. Come see us.
Take it easy, guys. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.